You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. I have to stagger out like that.
Stagger out?
Stagger out. TADPOG podcast. Can't just say, welcome to another TADPOG podcast. That doesn't sound right. It's going to be TADPOG podcast.
You know what? I never listen to you when you're doing this part. So it all sounds fine to me.
No one listens to our outro anyway.
It all sounds fine to me. No one, I don't know. I think people listen to our outro.
I think you just skip to the stinger and then see what's funny.
You think so?
I bet some people do.
Yeah, probably. Hey guys, if
or
you're
they
listening,
tune out whenever say thanks for listening. Zone out.
I do that when I listen to shows.
Yeah.
I totally do that. Maybe we should change up how we end the show. Keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
Like we could do tricks. Like
I'm gonna slip a number in somewhere until I have 10 digits. And then that makes a phone number, and when you call that phone number, you get a prize.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
The prize is you get to talk to whoever picks up the phone.
Yeah.
Hello, Tyler's mom's house.
Phone? My dad might answer it.
All right, perfect. I love this. I feel like I've got a leg up because I could probably get his number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I at least know the first 3 digits.
Yep. Where two old guys play old games. What we're doing now through the show, we're back doing our jam of going through alphabetically the NES Classic.
Yes.
This week, we will be talking about StarTropics.
Or
StarTropics.
I can finally go ahead and get this joke out of the way that I've been sitting on for 4 days. StarTropics. Because it's all one fucking word, and that bugs the shit out of me. The game's name is, there's no space between Star and Tropics. And I'm going to go on the record here and say I fucking hate it when games do that. Earthbound did it. I love Earthbound, but it's like, come on, man. Put a space between. It drives me crazy because it's like, I got to do these fucking show notes and shit. And it's like every time it's like spell check's like, whoa, dog. There is certainly a space between Star and Tropics. I'm like, no, it's an NES game. You don't understand.
You don't get a spell check.
Fucking take a walk, Clippy. Get out of my face.
Before we get to StarTropics. StarTropics. I'm going to burp first. At least my sour belly has gone away. Because when Dave first got here, I was like, man, I've got the worst case of sour belly ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like it was, all day long, it's been horrible. But
it's because you were nervous.
I drank cider, you drank beer for 2 hours straight while we sat here and talked, and now I feel better. Now it's time for the Imodium to set in, and these three ciders.
New name of our podcast. Time for the Imodium to set in.
But I'm your bearded host, Tyler, and they ever told you I had an idea for a story.
Yeah.
I may have told this before in the past, but if I did, it was a long time ago. I don't remember how well I said it.
You gave me a 1-sentence description, and I was like, no, I don't think I've heard that.
I think that's fine. I mean, I might tell it. If I told it before, I'll tell it again slightly differently, probably.
All right. If you're anyone listening to this, stop listening for just a moment. Mm-hmm. Just skip ahead 30 seconds. Here's the thing. You just retell it.
Yeah, no one.
You just retell
unless
it.
it's about me fingering a girl, no one's going to remember.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's a really big one, like, fingering a girl in the butt accidentally in the church basement, they're probably going to remember that one. But, I mean, if it's a minor one, it's no big deal. Actually, new contest. We probably reached the point where they've skipped 30 seconds, and now they're hearing me.
Yeah.
If you want to go back and pinpoint, it's an Easter egg hunt. Happy Easter. I have told the same intro story.
He is resin.
Much like Jesus Christ, I have told the same intro story on this podcast 58 times. Which one is it? If you need, post in the comments of this episode post on Facebook which intro story I've told 85 times, and you win a prize. You win
My dad's phone number.
Yes. You win 1 digit. In order to actually, you win a piece of paper with your dad's phone number written on it in invisible ink that can only be revealed when dipped in water. That is a StarTropics reference.
It is. You're right.
I'm sure we'll get to that.
But to see, first time I've seen Brandon in a while was at the Louisville Arcade Expo. So I think I had Brandon on my mind. And then when I was getting ready for work on Monday, after the expo, I got dressed and I have to wear nice business casual to work. And when I got dressed, Melissa was like, "You look preppy."
Business casual plus. I've seen you in your work.
Yeah, business casual plus. I vacillate back and forth depending if I have a big meeting or not.
Yeah.
But I guess from having just hung out with Brandon to her saying, "You look preppy today," like it triggered, a memory. That'll be my story.
She's like AC Slater.
That's exactly what I said to her. I put her back. I was like, is that our relationship? You're the Slater to my Zach.
Right.
Is that our marriage?
Is it? What'd you guys decide on?
Oh, we fuck way better. Way better than Zach and Slater.
All right. Are you sure? I mean, look, I'm not disparaging how y'all fuck. I'm sure it's great, but
I call her a pig and she says, "Oink, oink, mama." That's how it goes.
A screeching Lisa. Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, in middle school, high school, it was pretty much Screech and Lisa. Let's put it like that. That was pretty accurate. Or Urkel and Laura wore her down. It only took 20 years.
That explains all the Tyler bots I've stumbled upon.
But I remember, I had this memory, I think it was the 6th grade, and I'm over at Brandon's house, and we are...
Brandon of Axelay
fame, and we're laying on his trampoline.
Is this a test to see if he listens?
He claims to listen. Like I've thrown a few little quiz type things in, and he's known some of them. So
he's passed.
I think he at very least spot listens.
He's passed the test.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Brandon? Hey, it was cool hanging out with you.
We just hung out with him, so he probably misses us. So he may listen to this.
Or we just hung out with him. He's got his fill.
Oh, so yeah, and he doesn't need us.
Yeah, he doesn't need us.
He'll check back in at like 500.
There we go. The milestones. He listens to the milestones.
But because I had just started middle school. And he, of course, he's a year older than me, so he'd already been through his first year of middle school.
Right. He's already fingered a butthole.
He's already...
Welcome to our show about video games.
We promise, eventually.
Sometimes this happens.
But when we're laying there talking, and I forget how the conversation starts, but we started talking about skanks and preps. And I'm asking him like
gangs and River City Ransom.
Exactly. Because I'm asking well, what does that mean? Like what are skanks? What are preps? I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Tell me what that is.
All right.
And he's like, okay, well, why don't you tell me how you dress? I'm like, okay. What do I usually wear to school? I guess tennis shoes and jeans. I guess I like this one flannel shirt, and I'll wear it half tucked in and half tucked out, which, side note, that entire fashion decision to have something half tucked in and half tucked out was 100% based on an episode of Full House.
Oh, I love it. I was hoping it was something like that.
Where DJ steals a blue sweater but has the security...
Right, the security thing goes off. The ink gets on the sweater. Yes.
So to hide the security tag, she wraps it around and has it half tucked in and half tucked out. I thought that looked awesome, so that's how I did my flannel shirts in 6th grade.
Cheers to you. A man after my own heart. I had such a crush on DJ from Full House when I was a kid. Not so much anymore. Yeah.
She's
attractive for sure.
Yeah.
But Jodie Sweetin is also on Fuller House. And she grew up.
Yep.
And doesn't look like she's addicted to drugs. So
nope.
If she is, I don't know. But
it doesn't look like she didn't have breast implants.
Right.
But I described it to him, and he goes,
"Skank.
Yeah, you're definitely a skank."
Skank.
I was like, "Okay, what is that?" He's like, "No, but it's not necessarily a bad thing." I was like, "Okay, then what are you?" "Oh, I'm prep." I'm a huge prep."
Yeah.
It's like, "Hey, well, what is that?" And he's like, I wear like a lot of Massimo.
You're right. Yes. Okay.
Because I remember throughout middle school, he would wear his Massimo jeans and this Massimo shirt with like an egg on it.
I had
like legs.
Yeah, and a mallet.
That he had a matching hat. And that was his like Beta Club dance outfit.
It was a fun take on Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, I own that shirt. 2 of those actually. I own 2 of those.
And I just remember having that weird conversation with him because when we were kids around that age, we used to fight a lot, like
about that stuff,
physically fight. Like I would say something to make him mad.
Oh, like you and him would fight.
Yeah. I remember one day it was like,
What'd you say to him to make him mad?
I don't remember one
You're
day.
not a true prep.
Shit, what was it?
General Leo can't be recruited in your party.
I remember at church, it was like, I want to say, maybe I said it was like a scene from Terminator 2.
God is a lie.
Because he got mad and grabbed me by the shoulders and slammed me into the wall.
About
So
Terminator 2?
It just reminded me of Terminator 2. I forget what we argued about. But we went all down the hall at church. Like, he pushed me into a wall, so then I'd push him into a wall, and we just went all the way up the hall like that before our parents finally separated us.
Oh, is that how it ended?
Yeah. And I can think of 2 or 3 instances where we got physical with each other and then just stopped.
Well, that's good. You knew your limits.
Yeah. But I just reminded that our skank and prep conversation where I walked away feeling weird and unsure. I'm going to go put on this corduroy suit my mom bought me and have her do my hair and then ask Melissa to be my girlfriend in sign language.
Thank you very much. Hey.
I'll lose my virginity before you, Brandon, so fuck off.
Speaking of sign language.
Skanks for life.
I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And man, I'm so glad you said sign language. Here's what's been going on in my life. At work, I sit in an office that is close to the back door of the building. The building at work takes up like an entire block in our town. Mm-hmm. It's a very big building. And
I've been in it once. And when I walked back to your office, you were singing like gospel with somebody who looked like they were a street performer.
That is a legit musician in town.
All right, that makes sense then.
Yeah, we were coming up with songs that we could sing. Okay, all right. Everyone's gonna learn something about me. I haven't shared this with anybody.
Oh.
Actually, I've shared it with Nikki and Henry. Outside of that, no one else knows about this. I am in a band. It is called Mr. David, Mr. Chris Black, and Miss Ava band.
Okay.
We have a 5-year-old girl who is, she's not employed, but her mom is, and so she's there a lot. And she likes to come into my office, and we'll get together, and we will create songs. And that's what we were that day you came to my office, we were workshopping a song. I have a recording of one of the songs,
Nice.
which I have been cleared to play on the show. I made sure to get permission from Mr. Chris Black if I could play it on the show. And he gave me an I don't care kind of answer. So I was like, I will take that as a yes. Thank you. So I know what the stinger will be.
There's some no in there, but not enough to count.
Right. If this were a transcript, it sounds like you said yes. So I know what the stinger will be. And it'll be the song that we wrote.
Perfect.
So that office that we invented that song is near the back door. And a lot of times the back door is frequented by people who make deliveries to our shop because it's next to the big overhead door. So a lot of times a truck will park there and then they will come in the nearest fucking door that they can, which is the door that's close to my office. So they'll open the door and walk down the hall and look in offices until they see a person. And then they'll be like, person, I have a delivery. My job is done. And then they'll head back out. And it's like, great. I have to wrangle the people that actually receive this stuff. So I'm used to people coming in that door all the time. Last week, someone knocks on that door. And I'm like, well, that's polite. They don't normally knock. They normally just walk in. So I get up at my desk, and it's a loud knock. And it sounds like a slapping knock. It doesn't sound like a, like knuckles rapping. It sounds like a plah, pllah, pllah.
It's a walker trying to get in.
Yeah, it's a walker. So I get up out of my desk. I'm inside my desk. I climb out of it. And I start heading towards the door. And as I do, this dude walks in. He is wearing a baseball cap. I'll cut to the chase. Dude looks homeless. I take a look at him and I'm like, definitely not a prep. Right off top, not a prep for sure. And I'm like, okay. We do have a dude who comes by. we have like trash cans that we keep aluminum cans in, soda cans, and like there's a dude who comes by and we give him those cans like once a month or whatever. And he's a really cool guy. I had never seen this dude before. He walks in, kind of screaming, and it's like, oh boy. I'm like, here I am out in the hallway. No one else is here. It's just me and this guy. And it's like, I know what everyone in the fucking office is thinking. Oh, that's David's problem. Oh, sweet. Oh, thanks, man, for taking care of that for us. Don't worry. We will not make eye contact with you while you are dealing with this man.
You were in Office Wild West.
Right.
Congratulations.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. We're not. Don't, you handle this. You got it. You're good. So I'm like, why is this guy screaming? And I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, what's wrong? And he points to his ears and screams again. And I'm like, you are deaf. Excellent. What can I do for you? And he gestures with his hand like you would, like he's pantomiming writing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come with me. We'll get you squared away. Come with me. So I bring him to my office. I give him a piece of paper and a pen. And he starts writing frantically. I'm like, all right, this is this is
a quest.
All right. He is in some serious shit. What is going on? And I'm like already running through my mind.
Hobo has joined Dave's party.
Right. Whoa, I am your friend.
Ooh, wow, I am deaf. I am homeless.
Right.
I'm your friend.
Right. I threw dried meat at him, and now he won't go away. But every now and then it's cool because we get to go to a field. He hangs out with creatures and comes back with their abilities. So he is writing, and he's taking a long time to write. And while he's writing the whole time, I'm thinking, what can I do to get rid of this person? And it's like, that's not a thing I'm proud to say, but that is like an honest thing. I'm like,
that's a potentially dangerous situation. I understand that.
And it's like, no one's rushing into my office to like help me out. And it's seriously like, what needs to be done? Like, do I have any food? Can I get this guy any food? What's the deal? And he finally hands me the piece of paper, and it says, he took a long time to write, not a whole lot. I'm please allow me to take a moment to criticize this deaf homeless man.
He must have got an apprentice on his portfolio in high school.
Right.
These writing skills.
Excuse me, we only give money to distinguished portfolios. Anybody in Kentucky will get that joke. Outside, I don't know.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know.
Do other states do that writing?
I don't know.
Shit?
I don't know. If you graduated around 2000 to 2004 in Kentucky,
because they don't do it anymore.
You think
right?
that's hilarious? Yeah, no, I don't.
We're speaking to a very small segment of people right now. So he hands me the sheet of paper, and it says, I'm very thirsty. Can I have something to drink? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Get up. Come on. I gesture for him to get up. And I go to the sink and
hold up my dick and piss in his mouth.
And it was just like, how you like this? I go to the faucet, and there's a coffee mug that's sitting there, and I fucking fill it with water and give it to him. He downs it. And then he when he's done, I'm like, do you need some more? And he nods, and I pour him another mug of water, and he downs that. And it's like, he has a face of relief. And I'm like, excellent. Everything's taken care of. Goodbye.
Keep the mug. No one else is going to want it now.
Fine.
Thank you.
It's fine.
You come into this building, come out with a free mug and some water. Let's
call it a win. So I walk back to my office, and he's gesturing to write again. I'm like, okay, here's the paper, here's the pen. You're looking at me, and it's like...
Because I don't know where it's going to go.
Right, okay, because it's like, that's great. You're looking at me, and I'm like, I'm not sure if Tyler thinks this is a good story, or if he thinks that I'm telling an elaborate joke. Like, this is like the kind of thing where like an uncle would like draw a story out for 10 minutes, and then like really just, bam, deliver this shitty punchline, let's be honest. My uncles weren't very funny. But no, this is not a joke. We get back to my office. He writes, scrambles again, writing. And then he hands me the paper, and it says, can I have $20 to $30? And I look at it, and I look up at him, and I just shake my head. No. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, that's a big ask.
Yep.
I don't know if you think you're in a lawyer's office. You're not. You are not in a lawyer's office. So I just kind of like
Pulled out your pay stub and showed it to him, and he
right.
said, "Okay."
Yeah, he feels bad
He
for
gave
me.
you $5.
Exactly. So I say no, I can't. I cannot give you $20. It's just like that. I can't give you $20. And I say I actually don't have any money, which is true. I don't have any money. And so he's gestures for the pen again, and I hand him the pen. I don't know why he didn't keep it, but he writes again. I just want to criticize this man further. He starts writing again, and he hands me the paper, and he's like, "Can you ask other people?" And I read it, and I look at him. I'm like, no, no. And what I'm thinking is, that's not my job. That's your fucking job.
He's smart. He's on the outsource.
He is totally what's going on. So I say no, I can't. I'm. That's not something that I'm going to do. And he gestures like, okay, whatever, and he walks out that door. Yesterday,
Because I was hoping he'd be like, "Can I use the bathroom? I have just the bathroom for you." And you show him back to the back, the old bathroom. Open the door, and he just shakes his head. No.
I get in the time machine, go back. It's like, here, look. Yeah, thank God that bathroom is gone.
Oh, I thought it was still there.
No,
no one used it.
No, it's
Okay.
gone. It's gone. Jesus, thank you. That's like Diablo's minions were banished when that bathroom was tore down. Yesterday, he comes back. And when I see him, when I hear the slapping on the back door, I'm like, fuck.
Just shut your office door.
I don't have one.
Oh, you're right. You don't.
But
We had to get you a curtain that you can just draw across.
sorry, not home. There is an office that I'm eyeing that I am totally going to take. And I told my boss today, I was like, hey, you know that office that's going to be open at the end of the month? I am definitely taking that because it is farther away from the door than this office is. And I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to deal with this guy. I'm going to be honest. Like, look, maybe that makes me a shitty person. I don't want to deal with this guy. When I'm at work, I want to fucking work and I want to get my money and I want to go the fuck home. I don't want to I don't want to be distracted and interrupted and stuff like that. So, and you know my rule. We've talked about this on the show. When someone comes and they're like, can I have some money? I'm hungry.
You get them food. You don't.
I want to get them
cash.
food.
Yep.
I don't want to give them money. I want to get them food because it's like, all right, you're hungry. Let's take care of that. So that's what he writes yesterday. I haven't eaten in a week. I lost 20 pounds. I need money for
So he wrote
food.
back, liar. Handed it back to him.
I saw you last week. And I'm like, look, and I saw a donut this morning in the break room. It's been sitting there a while since Friday, but you're welcome to it if you want it. That's the only food I can think of that we have in this building. That is not a snack machine, which I will not be using because I do have money on me today.
God, I wish
and
you
I
just showed
do
him
not want you to know
just
that.
taken to the snack machine and walked away.
Here you go. So I lead him back to the break room, which is a long journey because the building's so big. It is so big. I have to walk down the full fucking hallway. I got to walk down another hallway through a big set of double doors. I have to walk this man through the press room where people are working and like everything is like noisy and everything is going on. Not a single fucking person on my walk looked me in the eyes. Not a single one. And I goddamn guarantee I'm on full like scan mode. Like my eyes are darting around, like just hoping I could catch a glimpse of someone like looking at me so I could be like, hey, can you help me?
You to make the pin gesture.
Right? Please, someone help me.
Can you please help me?
Not a single person makes eye contact. Good for them. Smart. I don't blame them. I don't want to sound like I'm blaming them.
I don't blame them. Lawful neutral.
Because I do get it. Lawful neutral. It is true. Well, we make it.
I think you're lawful good, but both
well,
sides.
thank you. That's very kind. Wow, that's quite an elevation from lawful evil 20 years ago.
Well, I think Nicole is lawful neutral. I know lawful neutral. You're lawful good.
Well, thank you. That means more to me than it should. We make it finally to the break room. We finally fucking make it. that donut is fucking gone. Not there. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this guy thinks I'm fucking with him at this point. And it's like, he can't hear me. So I'm like, I'm mouthing to him loudly.
No donut.
That's exactly. It's like, there was a donut. It gone. And then I look at the fridge because I'm like, maybe there's something I can give this man that doesn't involve me pulling out quarters and putting into the vending machine.
That's sort of a whole nother.
Because then I know it's like he's very aggressive, right? And it's like
that's the worst.
He's very aggressive, and I feel like if I pull out any money, that he's gonna be like, money. I'm not going away. Money. So I'm like, I open the fridge door, and it's like there's nothing in there except for condiments and a big jug of Pace salsa. I turn around to him and I say, we have salsa if you would like any. And he says no. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not that hungry. So I head back to the table and I'm like, I'm sorry. We had food. We had a donut. Now we don't. And he gestures to right. And I'm like, all right, let's go back to my office because that's where the pen and the paper is. So we walk the whole fucking way. We take the journey all the way back to my office. Once again, no one looks me in the eye. Not a single fucking person. And in my mind, I'm like, I get it, but fuck you guys. Because clearly this person doesn't work here. And come on, help me out. So we make it back to my office. I give him the pen and the paper, and he writes, can I have $20 to $30? And once again, I'm like, no, you can't. I'm not giving you $20.
Why 20 to 30?
Why it's so much fucking money? So
you can't get a Steam gift card for under $20.
I haven't spent more than $20 on you for your birthday. Like we've been passing around Steam cards like for 5 years straight. We were just passing around Steam cards that were $20. I'm sure I've given you one that you've given me. I've just been like, well, it's Tyler's birthday. Here's this plastic bag.
What, Josh? It's your birthday too.
Oh,
here you go.
Here you go. We know what to get you. So I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you $20. Instead of. He asked for the pen again. And instead of asking for less money, he asks, can you ask other people? And I'm thinking like, dude, we have been through this shit. My answer is still no. I'm not going to ask people. And I'm like, I tell you what, I'll take you to the front office and you can ask whoever you want up there. And he's like nodding. I'm like, all right, let's roll. So I walk down the hallway, walk down another hallway, get to the fucking front office. And man, I felt like a shitbag because it's like, I'm dumping this person on someone else mode. I've gone like 10 minutes. No one's fucking looked at me. This is going to be someone else's problem. And it's like, so I walk in the front office and I'm like, there are receptionist is up there. And I'm like, this guy wants some money. Goodbye. And like, I'm ghosting out and she is like, no. Like she gets up from her desk and like approaches him, and this is a tiny woman, approaches him and is like, no, we don't have anything for you. Goodbye. And I'm like, damn, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that and like not feel like a total dick? But it's like when she does it, I'm like, yeah, you get him. I can't do it though. I do it. I'm like, I feel bad. I should probably give this guy some money. And then he just leaves. And I'm like, wow, that's all there is to it, huh? And she's like, yeah, next time he comes by, she's like, if he hasn't come in yet, just lock the door. It's like, oh, roger that. Yeah. Will do. So today, I'm talking to my boss about this. My boss, and who I like a lot. And I'm like, dude, I show him the paper. I'm like, look at this. And he's like, he's nodding. He's like, yeah. He's like, I've given that guy money before, and I will never do it again because it was at TGI Fridays. He asked for $20, and I'm like, again with the $20. I gave him $20, and I'm like, you gave him $20? How much money do you make? And he's like, I gave him $20, and then I saw him do it again, like immediately afterwards. And he's like, I just think he's abusing his disability. And he's like, I felt bad for him, and I know that's rough. So I gave him the money, but it's like he's so aggressive that he is just abusing his disability. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, he is really like fucking aggressive and shit. And about that time, another coworker steps into my office. My office is the party office. You knew that because you showed up and we were singing in it.
Yeah.
So that's going to change because Davy Pooh's getting an office with a door. Another coworker walks in and she's like, are you guys talking about that guy who came in yesterday? I'm like, yeah, he's not deaf. What do you mean he's not deaf? He's not deaf because he came up to me when I was playing Pokemon Go last year asking for money. And I said, if you don't get away from me, I'm calling the police. And he ran away from me. And then later she said she saw a policeman, mentioned him because he was being aggressive with her. She mentioned him and the police officer's like, we know who he is. He is not deaf. So here's the thing. I got to figure out how to prank this guy the next time he shows up because I know he's going to show up. He's going to show up again. He's already showed up twice. He's going to show up again. And I got to figure out, like, I wish I could.
You blow up a balloon.
Yeah.
And pull out a pen right in front of him and pop it. And when he reacts.
All of a sudden, it's like an episode of Dick Van Dyke or something all of a sudden. I don't know. I think I could, like, I got to figure out a way to, like, I think when he's not looking at me or something, I'll be like, the guy's back, call the police and just see what happens. Just see what happens. If he is deaf, nothing will happen.
Oh, because tell him to wait. Yeah, to step to your door and be like, hey, I'll keep him here distracted. Go ahead and call the cops. And they're going to come and get him. We're going to be done with this problem.
We'll be done forever.
Yep.
And then I'll go back to my office. He's going to be gone.
That's exactly what you need to do. Because that happened to you in Lexington too, didn't it? Like there was like a homeless guy you give money to, and then you saw at your back window him get into like a brand new
pickup truck.
Yep.
Yeah. Peanut was his name. Peanut was a panhandler in Lexington. Dude made a lot of money. He fucked up with me though, because I did see him get out of his brand new pickup truck to go to work and sit in front of the museum and panhandle. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. I stopped giving Peanut money, but it's like at the same time, I didn't begrudge him because it was just kind of like, all right, well, now I know. But Peanut was a cool guy. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like Peanut was like, Peanut was like a guy that when I gave him money, I felt good.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously that was false. There was no like, because he didn't need it, clearly. But I mean, and I do think that a lot of panhandlers say that. Like they say that they're providing a service. They're making people feel less guilty. I don't believe that, but
nope.
It does sound nice, doesn't it?
Because he's no longer my uncle.
Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Nice.
If you have any guilt that you would like to get rid of, I and Tyler are willing to accept that donation. Patreon.com/TADPOG, he says in a video game podcast where it's 40 minutes in and we have not talked about
34.
StarTropics.
34 minutes. Now, I was just going to say I have a former uncle who was not entirely deaf.
Yes.
He was very hard of hearing, but he would also capitalize on that, and he had little cards he would write. I'm deaf. Please buy this card for $5.
Okay.
And he would walk all around Walmart and hand out these cards to people.
How much money would he make?
He'd make a decent amount of money.
Like $1,000 probably. Yeah.
He wouldn't. I mean, and he also he was able-bodied and everything. He just didn't want to get a job or anything like that. Their whole scam, which is I think part why my aunt eventually was like, I'm out, because he would do things like that.
Thus the former uncle. I got you.
They would go to a new church. Because my aunt is deaf, and they.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would.
So she's deaf. And
she's
he was
actually deaf,
deaf,
and he was partially
Wow.
deaf. So they would go to a new church, play up sympathy.
Is that where you learned the sign language?
That's where. I mean, a little bit. I mean, my grandmother and my other aunt are fully versed in sign language.
Okay. I keep interrupting
My
you, I'm
dad
sorry.
knows a little bit. I know she has a hard time conversing with my dad because he doesn't know much sign language and his mustache covers his mouth, so she can't read his lips.
Yeah.
But, and then he would, the former uncle would play up sympathy at the church, get a new house, they get them an apartment, set them up, buy them groceries, and he would do that until they got fed up, and then they would pack up shop and leave in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Go
really?
to however many hours out and do it all over again. And then he would do his Walmart scam in the in-between times.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's shady.
Yeah. And then Melissa ran into I was just telling you about this at the Arcade Expo. When that Saturday where I slept like 12 hours, she got up before me. She needed to get some things at Walmart, and she was, a guy came up to her very hostile, very aggressive, wanting $80.
That's a lot of money. That's way more than $20. That's 4 times the amount.
And when she said no, she had to run into Walmart because the guy was super aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you told me that story before we started recording because you gave me the intro. You reminded me that crazy shit has happened to me, and it's like earlier, like we talked yesterday, and I was like, I don't know what to do for an intro. And it's like, I
know what to do for 40 minutes of one.
No shit. God, I hope that was worth it. Everyone listening, I hope that was worth it.
You like StarTropics?
Too bad.
Go play it then.
Oops. Oops. Remember the time I wrecked...
Oops, all hobo stories.
Right? Remember the time I wrecked our podcast? Sorry about that.
That time we talked about how we've gotten scammed by homeless people out of money?
Yeah.
Which is sad because that I'll never feel good or trust anybody who would shit, okay, my car broke down. I need help somewhere.
Right.
Which sucks because I can't, because I don't know anybody who doesn't have multiple stories of getting used every single time.
And I've had a bad experience with a hitchhiker that's like, nope, that ain't ever happening again. I am never picking someone up again. Never. Not a fucking chance. It's just like, it ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. I'll wave at you. I acknowledge that you're a person. I'm so sorry that you're in this predicament, but I am not picking you up. Just not going to happen.
Because I remember Kyle of Zombie at My Neighbor's fame. And
wow, that's an old one.
Yeah. And David Dykes of what was the last episode? That Batman and Robin, maybe?
Adventures of Batman and Robin, I think it was.
They were driving to another town one time, and there was someone looked at their car, their flashes were on, and they were trying to flag someone down the side of the road. And they passed them and then suddenly felt like guilty, like, oh, maybe he is really, really stuck. So they pulled off on, they turned in this little hidden gravel road that they just happened to see. And when they pulled in it to turn around, they saw that exact same car fucking speed by incredibly fast. So they're like, oh, we narrowly evaded getting murdered.
Yeah, we almost got murdered. Cool. Yeah, that reminds me of Red Dead Redemption. That's a video game.
We did that with Time Lord Josh Edwards.
Yes. That will also be in the show notes. A thing I'm struggling to do right now because it's like, I don't know what this bullet point's going to be.
I'll do show notes, don't worry.
Hobo stories? So, yeah, the other thing is, apparently that guy is not deaf and takes all that money that he gets and buys cigarettes with him. And also, from what I hear, I don't know if this is true. Please don't sue me, deaf homeless dude. But he has a couple that drive him around and point him out to places that they think he'll get a lot of money from. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck that.
Right? Right. So, I don't know. It just made me feel, less bad that he did not get that donut that I promised him. Oh, what I should do is, this is great. The next time, okay. So to prep for the next time he comes in, I'm going to need 2 things: a donut and a fishing pole. And what I'll do is I'll hear him knock and I'll run around the corner real quick. And I'll drop the donut, which is connected to a hook on a fishing pole.
Oh, man.
And I'll just have him just chase that donut the whole way.
You hide the mutagen inside of it and could trick him into eating it so he turns back into a normal guy.
Yeah, I'm like the reverse shredder.
Num. Yeah.
I'm the reverse shredder. Not quite Splinter. That's not we all know that's not reverse shredder. Just reverse shredder.
But I'm glad. I mean, me and Melissa have all had those experiences with aggressive people wanting money in Louisville.
No.
But I also want to give her props because you said he bought cigarettes. Reminded me, she quit smoking many months ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I feel like the Arcade Expo was her trial by fire because it was the first time like we've all been drinking, and she was just like, "This is super hard."
Oh yeah.
Because I just want to. When I drink, I want to smoke, and like it got to the point where she's like, "Can I have a cigarette?" I was like, "It's up to you. If you want to have a cigarette, I can't just tell you no." And I mean, I think
You're better than me.
then I think her breaking point was because I think the blame will just be shifted onto me. It's like if you're not going to smoke, it needs to be your decision. I can't make it for you.
But you're like not laying on the guilt at all, because it's like I would. I'd be like, if Nikki asked me, I'd be like, you know what? I really wish you wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make me really sad. But if you want to do it,
The first several times, that's what I said.
yeah, okay,
Then
great.
eventually
So
it was
I'm
just like,
not a monster.
It's up to you.
Perfect. I'm not a monster until I literally lead that man around my office with a donut and a fishing pole. And then I'm actually, what he finds when he gets to the end is me standing on a giant cage.
No, it's fine.
No, there's $20 or $30 inside here.
And is whenever I think what turned her around completely though was whenever she was talking to Ian and she was talking about wanting a cigarette, and he looked at me. He's like, "Are you cool with that?" And I was like, "It's her decision." But then he was like, "I'm jealous that you have quit smoking because I can't do it. I've tried and I haven't been able to do it. So it's awesome that you have. But know that if you make it through this weekend and you don't smoke, that's a huge deal because that's like the hardest thing to do, and you've done it. So you're totally fine from here on out." And then she was okay.
Nice.
You know,
Wizened Sage.
Yep.
Earning his title, living up to his title. My God. Good job, Ian.
So, and then good job, Melissa. I'm very proud
Hell
of her
yes.
for not.
Hell yes. Yeah.
And then
I'll drink to that.
She just had her
Cheers.
wisdom teeth out, and then also couldn't vape for 3 days. So that was also hard.
I wasn't supposed to smoke when I had my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I did.
Dry sockets all over your mouth.
Yep. Ain't nothing. Dude, when I lived in Lexington, nothing could stop me from smoking. Nothing could stop me smoking. I could go to the doctor and be like, you are dead. I'm like, yep, more time to smoke. So, I don't know. I'm proud. Yeah, that's very well done, Melissa.
And I'm also proud of you that you still haven't in years.
Nah.
Well, because
It's not a big deal
I
anymore.
was listening to a podcast where people are just like, "Oh, you're never gonna not want a cigarette."
No,
period.
that is true.
So
that
like
is very true.
That sucks to deal with
For me, at least. Yeah. But, you know, it would help.
not talking about it.
$20 to $30. Would you like to talk about StarTropics?
I'm gonna lead to the other end of the house with the problems of a donut.
Do we? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Dave?
Do we have time? How far in are we?
44 and a half minutes.
Oh my fucking God. So what would you like to do? Would you like to talk about StarTropics, or would you like to release this as Oops All Hobo Stories, or what? I've already got album art and everything for StarTropics.
I don't have a ton to say about StarTropics.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm afraid that I do.
Well, I mean, we can make it another 45 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
Dave, you hear that?
Yeah, I do. It's the sound of me very worried that this is going to be the least marketable episode of the show ever. That's okay.
Well,
That's
talking
all right.
to people who like hobos, StarTropics,
Yes, that's going to be okay. So this is no surprise. I think we've
deaf
mentioned-
people on Facebook, so it's whatever.
Right, totally. Can you read this? This is going to come as no surprise. I think we've even talked about it on the show. But one of the things that we try to do to grow the show is we take a percentage of the money from Patreon and we use that money to try to advertise. So all of a sudden it makes the show kind of like weird because like I do like think about like, well, this one is not going this like what do I do when I'm trying to make like boost the Facebook post? Do I like because like you can boil it down based on interests. So it's like interests being mean to homeless people. Is that I don't know, it's not showing up on Facebook. Let me just try backspace. Cruelty?
Quitting smoking?
Not StarTropics though.
Binge drinking?
I do. We need actually. What we need to do is, can we start this over?
Yep, scratch it. Cutting room floor 2018.
Look, man, we got a great Patreon episode. Did I mention that we've been drinking?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Excellent. Yes, I do hear that, Tyler. It sounds like just the screams of so many people who are pretending to be deaf, which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia.
Makes a pin motion, writes StarTropics?
StarTropics? Question mark? Excuse me, you put a space between StarTropics.
20 to 30 minutes, StarTropics.
Right. That's actually, he's just verbalizing what all of our listeners are thinking. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's classic TADPOG.
If you're already a fan, you might appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened that much, you're out.
If
you won't have gotten this far for me to say, hey, this is the deal. No,
you're done.
You're done.
Right. We understand, but that's fine. You do you. We'll keep doing this. Is it successful?
That's the way I describe our podcast.
Could it be more successful? Yeah, it definitely could. Are we willing to go to the links to do that? I mean, a little bit. Baby steps.
I've only got 3 more ciders, so it's whatever.
I was reading the most recent Patreon blog because they give tips or how to boost your Patreon and stuff like that. Tip number 1 is do not talk about homeless people for 50 minutes.
Number 1.
Number 1. Don't do it.
Gilbert Godfrey made that mistake. Now he's not the Geico spokesman anymore.
Affleck,
thank you.
Which I was just listening to. They were doing Laser Time did a whole podcast episode on Gilbert Gottfried, which is really good because it's a recent documentary came out about him, I think on Amazon or something like that. I haven't seen it, but they talk about the Affleck thing for a little bit because someone mentions how the hell do they still have a duck that sounds like Gilbert Gottfried? What kind of contract was that? Where it was just yeah, I get. I mean, because apparently a lawyer looked into it and they're yeah, Affleck pretty much can make that duck sound like you, Gilbert, because you signed this paper.
Oh man,
fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Yeah. So anyway, of course I hear that, which ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia 50 minutes late. Guys.
49.
Excellent. And after Truncate Silence, it would be a cool 37 minutes. StarTropics is an action-adventure video game released by Nintendo in 1990 for the NES. Unlike most of Nintendo's games, it was never released or intended to be released in Japan. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's odd.
It is odd, and it shows in the game also.
Yeah.
Because it is very westernized. And what I think is funny is it very much feels like a game that was made in Japan for a non-Japanese audience.
There's if I can find the link, I want to post in the show notes that there is an Italian song made in the 80s. It's complete gibberish, but it's an Italian guy doing what it sounds like to him to hear an English conversation when you don't speak English.
Where did you find this on Reddit or something?
So it's a whole American style school classroom, and he's the teacher, and they're talking in what sounds like English to them, just making up English sounding words, and
not
the
real
whole
words.
song is complete gibberish.
Excellent. Yeah. Did you know that was the original theme song to Saved by the Bell? That was actually the theme song to Good Morning, Miss Bliss. Little known fact. Yes, please find that. I want to hear that really bad. But StarTropics. From what I understand, the director, Genyo Takeda, I'm taking a stab at how to say his last name. He was a big fan of the North American market for Nintendo games, and it was kind of like his pet project to do something like this. He worked also on Punch-Out!, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, which is another game that released in North America first, but unlike StarTropics, it eventually made it to Japan.
That I can understand a little bit more because I can't imagine boxing is a big Japanese sport.
Probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But StarTropics is very, very stereotypical American stuff because your protagonist has a very generic sounding American name, Mike Jones. We all know the rapper, Mike Jones, right? Are you familiar? No?
What is he in?
What is he in?
Yeah.
Well, he makes raps.
Is he a rapist?
He is a rapist.
Okay.
Okay, so I only know him from like one song, and that is Back Then. The song is called Back Then. And it is Back Then, hoes didn't want me. Now, hot hoes all on me. And he was great because he would also, like, the most memorable part of the rap beyond that is he would shout out his phone number when he would rap. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow. So the moment I saw that the main character in this game was named Mike Jones, I immediately liked it more than I should. Because I was like, it's Mike Jones. It's fucking Mike Jones. Come on, man. And then it's like, I start going down this rabbit hole where it's like, wait, is the rapper's name really Mike Jones? Is he like a really big StarTropics fan? Is this like a case where he's like, I got to come up with a great rap name. What's it going to be? Well, Link is right on the nose. Mario, also not good. People are going to know exactly where I got that.
You my yos to hit up those hoes.
Oh, no. No. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes. Yo-yos, of course, being another huge thing that's in the game.
Jumping on tiles, swinging that bat, busting up the head of a hood rat.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, Jesus Christ. I didn't know you were going to come here spitting hot fire. Good Lord, man.
Top 5 best rappers of all time. Tyler.
So how many of those ciders have you had, buddy?
3.
Yeah, I figured it was more than one when you started freestyle rapping. Remember that weird episode of TADPOG where they talked about homeless people for 40 minutes and then Tyler rapped for the next 40? Oh, Jesus. Yo-yos are in the game. I also feel like yo-yos are a very stereotypical American thing when this game came out, right?
Okay.
Do you remember, it's like, there was that episode
Yo-yos
of this,
came back for a little while.
Yeah.
And I remember who had one? Biggest prep ever. Brandon of Axelay.
Oh, of course. I had one too, right? Yeah. Did you have one? I feel like we all had one.
I feel like I might have bought one, but like
We
I did like
all
one
had
thing and
one.
I was like, nope, can't do it.
Because it was like, this is how it went, man. I feel like it was like one summer it was yo-yos. Okay, wait. All right, the timeline starts earlier than that. One summer it was Ninja Turtles. That was like all there was to life. Next summer, yo-yos. Next summer, Pogs. And then next summer, Super Nintendo. And it was just like, man,
Yep.
this is great. All I got to worry about each summer is like, what shit I got to beg mom to buy?
Yep. Oh, here's a little info nugget about our dear friend Brandon Eves.
Oh, God, excellent.
Because he prides himself, he's prep.
He's a prep.
He tied his senior year for best dressed.
Oh, tied with you.
Not even in his class. Tied with
Yeah.
me. That's how skanky I was.
Right.
I got
Tied with the with the junior skank. Not to be confused with Skank Junior. Entirely different person.
I remember he was. I mean, because the yearbook photo is him, the other guy, and the girl who won. He was so pissed he tied with this guy.
I would be too. Come on.
Because I remember when he found out and
Yeah.
the fucking rant he went on. It's like, this motherfucker, all he fucking wears are his Creed shirts and denim shorts and that fucking shirt he got from the Lit concerts.
Doesn't own one goddamn Massimo shirt. Not even the one with the burglar on it. I'm trying to like, dude, I own so many of those fucking Massimo t-shirts that had like one of the like little cartoon character, like the egg you were talking about earlier with the mallet. So fucking many of those. And it's like, I'm trying to remember a single other one, and the only one I can come up with, I think there was one with a burglar on it, like a Beagle Boy
Makes
looking
sense.
guy. But yeah, the yo-yos, and I remember like when I was playing this game, because the yo-yo is Mike Jones's primary weapon, and until it gets upgraded later on. But for the most part, you're fucking rolling with a yo-yo.
Which he's an all-star pitcher.
Right.
So I guess it's just a baseball that they can come back to him.
Baseball with a rope.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Sure, why not? But it's one of those things where it's like, I remember, wasn't there like a Simpsons episode where like the yo-yo team or whatever, like the traveling like yo-yo people showed up at the school and like in the auditorium and put on a show, and then it's like the school was just in the grips of a yo-yo craze.
That makes sense.
I feel like that was an episode I saw.
Have your bottle opener and crack open another one of these?
Yes, you may. I'm sorry, I dropped it. Maybe if you'd given me $20 to $30, I wouldn't have.
But because it's his primary weapon that doesn't run out, you get sub-weapons that are limited use and usually confined to one dungeon that helps you complete one dungeon.
Yeah, because they take that shit away from you when you complete the dungeon.
Yep.
So, you got secondary weapons like a baseball bat is the one I got most frequently. I believe there's a slingshot, which is like, you know how I roll, man. I got these secondary weapons, and I'm like, never going to use it. Never going to use it.
Leave the dungeon, never having used it once, you lose 60 fucking swings or whatever you have with it.
Yeah, and it's like, fine, I'm okay with that because now it's like, great. I don't have to worry about, oh man, I got this baseball bat. When do I need to use it? So I love that they reset it at the end of the dungeon because it's like, cool. I don't need the bat to progress any farther. I did this shit on hard mode with a yo-yo. And it's like, I don't know, man. I've got that video game item hoarding mentality where it's just like, if there is a secondary weapon and it's got a number next to it, I don't want to use it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have a number, if it's unlimited uses, you bet. Bring it on. All day. Let's use that fucking baseball bat. But it's like, I only used the baseball bat a couple times, and the bolas, not a slingshot, the bolas.
Bolas, yeah.
There are moments where I feel like I had to use those to fight bosses and stuff.
Bosses that are too far away from you. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And there are also
this can play like to dial it back a little bit because this game is sort of very.
Let's take it back.
It has a lot of inspiration from Zelda.
Yeah,
so it's very similar, especially your intro, the start screen.
Where you register a character's name, and it's exactly the same, except instead of Link, it's Mike Jones.
Yeah, and it is sort of because you're on the overworld map, sort of like Zelda, Link in Zelda 2, and then you switch to a more traditional Zelda perspective when you go into a dungeon, and the graphics are much more detailed.
Yeah, kind of like zoom. It feels like it zooms in.
And it looks like Zelda 2 whenever you would be in when you go into the mini map or whatever in Zelda 2, only it's not side scrolling, it's still the over the top perspective, but the graphics to me, Mike Jones looks like the same sort of design as Link in Zelda 2.
281-330-8004. I called that number today because I was like, I wonder what happens when I call this number. It's busy.
Oh, damn. Everybody's calling
I know, right? It's busy. No, I have a feeling it's because there are a lot of assholes like me who's like, let's call this number.
But because you go in, because Mike Jones has an uncle who's an archaeologist, and he gets a letter from his uncle to come to Sea Island.
Dr. Jones.
Conveniently shaped like a sea.
Like a sea.
And you find out your uncle...
The letter C, not a body of ocean.
Right.
A body of ocean?
Body of ocean.
You know the sea. It's a body of ocean. I'm a scientist.
That your uncle is missing and you need to go find him.
Yes.
And so they give you this tropical
Hello,
island
15-year-old.
Here's the yo-yo. It is a special yo-yo. Go find your uncle.
We don't have what you would call on the mainland a police force. Also,
there's a pig who will show you his butthole.
That is true.
Go talk to him.
That is true. And that is, okay, so Edgelord Kyle. We all know Edgelord Kyle from the Arcade Expo and from knocking all the achievements out of the park over the course of like the last year or whatever. My big thing going into StarTropics, two things. I was like, A, this game looks like ass, and B, there must be a lot of pigs in this game because Kyle keeps talking about pigs showing their buttholes. And I was disappointed because I didn't make it all the way through this game. I made it to chapter 6 of like 8 or whatever. Only saw one damn pig who did show me his butthole, but it was just one. It's a little disappointing.
Sounds about average for how many girls show me their butthole.
Yeah.
Met all sorts of girls. Seen a few buttholes.
A
Not whole
few.
lot.
That's
Seen a
not. That's
few.
pretty. You're doing pretty good.
Seen
You're doing pretty
a few.
good. Yeah.
Seen a few. Yeah. Been married twice. Seen a few.
But yeah, I mean, I think comparing this to Zelda is probably inescapable because it's very, very similar to Zelda.
Because I don't want to say it's like, wouldn't call it a rip off or anything, or a Zelda clone by any means, but
Similar.
The creator draws a lot of inspiration from Zelda. Yeah.
And it came out pretty late on the NES. I think it was 1990?
90.
Yeah.
Because that's why in that village, that girl tells you that she's the beauty contest winner, Miss 1990.
Right. Oh, in the first village. Yeah. Which, by the way, all the villages in Cola, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if like soda was invented on these islands, or
that was the Japanese designer being like, "What do Americans love? Cola."
Well,
everything's cola.
Clearly, that's the
Pig
correct
buttholes and
answer,
cola.
right? Pig buttholes. What I love about the pig is like they didn't have to put that 1 pixel butthole on it.
Oh, you're right. That was a creative decision.
It was certainly, and it's just like, how the fuck does this get through? It's like out of this world, like has to like take butt cheeks off of like the little tip top of a butt crack off. Meanwhile, a pig with a spread open 1 pixel butthole is just like, there we go, roll with it.
That's erotic to some Southerners. Don't. Come on.
Yeah, I don't like. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it made me feel. It looked exactly like Donkey Kong's nipple in Donkey Kong for the NES.
And a lot of the caves do look like goatsy buttholes.
Do they? I didn't know. On the overworld map. Yeah, they do kind of look like. But it kind of got me thinking. It's like most caves are probably just like buttholes on the earth.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I think of a cave, I think of like storybook style, like a stone door in a mountain. But it's like probably only like
it's not like the Mines of Moria. It's a hole in the ground.
It's a hole in the ground for the most part, right? Because like when I like feel like I'm watching a video or like seeing like nature photos of shit, like people like going in a cave, they're usually like climbing down a rope in a hole in the ground, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I just think that probably the Earth has a lot of buttholes.
Yep, Earth has a lot of buttholes.
So many buttholes.
So you go through your first dungeon, which in this game could be called Jumpin' Panels Yo-Yo Man, and it's what the game is because it is built around jumping on panels because it's these little green or whatever color panel, because you're jumping. This game, you're on a grid. It moves. It's got these very tank-like, clunky, hard to get used to controls.
All right, so the controls. I like the controls. I know a lot of people don't like the controls, but I like the controls in this game because the way it works is when you tap a direction, Mike Jones doesn't move that direction. Mike Jones faces that direction. And I love that because it's like in a game, I hate when I like press the right D-pad. When I want to go right, when I want to face right, and it's like I tap it, and it's like all of a sudden I'm moving right, and I'm walking into enemies. So it's like the way it works is you tap a direction, and you face that direction, and then you can move that direction. So I get it. Like it's different than Zelda, and I think that's why it bothers people because the game looks so much like Zelda. I feel like people expect it to control like Zelda, and it does not. Because Zelda is a lot more fluid. It's a lot less rigid. The controls in this game are very rigid. I don't think it's fair to say they're tank controls, but it is like it's just different than Zelda. And the reason I like it, the reason I like that you can just tap the button and instead of going that direction and just facing it is because your yo-yo has range. And it's like in Zelda, you got to be right up on a dude to fucking stab him.
Yep.
Unless, you're really fucking good and you're just fucking blasting the sword blast. I don't know what it's called. Hi, I'm a co-host of a video game podcast. I don't know what the sword blast is called.
We haven't got to Zelda 1 yet. That's down the road, so you don't have to know it yet.
Thank God. But I think it's nice because it's like that yo-yo's got range, and it's like I want to take full advantage of that range. I don't want to be all up in an enemy's face unless I have to. I want to keep a safe distance. So I feel like I feel like it's a really good design decision, but I honestly think people just don't like it because it looks like Zelda, so it should play like Zelda, right? So I don't know. I think that's the big thing. But it is fair to say that it does take some getting used to.
It does, and because I thought you were sort of stuck on the grid. So like initially, I was just jumping from panel to panel that you do. That's the huge mechanic in the game where you're navigating through things.
Yeah,
I thought you were on rails doing that, and then I discover once when I accidentally jump off into water and immediately die. All your hearts, everything gone, dead.
yeah. Yeah, Mike Jones can't swim.
No, not.
But they warn you that you're gonna die because there's skeletons floating around the water.
Yeah, because this game it is odd in a game that I feel like is sort of exploration based, but you get punished for exploring.
You do get punished for exploring. There is a lot of guess and check in this game, which I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here. This is probably gonna be a surprise and probably gonna be an unpopular opinion. I like this game quite a bit.
I wouldn't, because you were dreading this hard.
I was. I did not want to play this game. And it's like everything I saw about it didn't look good. And it's like the screenshots looked like, when I saw it, I'm very much fell victim to that, oh, this looks like a Zelda clone. It did. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. And thankfully, it didn't play like that because I think I would like it less if it played like a Zelda game, because then I'd be like, yes, it is a fucking Zelda clone. Thank you very much, Nintendo. But no, I think it was, I had a lot of fun with it, and I wasn't able to finish it, but I would like to. I got as far as I could in the time allotted that I gave myself to do it. But I totally want to finish this game. I thought it was fun, but it does have those frustrating moments where it's like, there is a dungeon in this game. I don't know if you got to it. It is underneath a graveyard.
I saw it,
oh
but I did
boy.
not get there.
Oh, jeez.
I bailed because this game is hard. So I bailed before I even got to that.
And I'll be honest with you, the difficulty is a thing that is very attractive to me. So keep that in mind. I mean, that is another thing where it's like, that is certainly another reason I like this game, because it's like, this is kind of tough. It's unforgiving. There's this fucking dungeon under a graveyard where it is like a complete fucking maze. It is like the woods, the Phantom Woods, or no, what is it called in Link's Awakening, or Link to the Past? The forest
Lost
dungeon,
Woods.
the Lost Woods. Thank you. It reminds me of the Lost Woods because it's got a whole bunch of fake exits and stuff like that in this under the graveyard.
The ghosts look like the ghosts in the original Zelda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they totally do. And they're also, I don't know if you saw the Octo Rocks, but Octo Rocks are in this game, totally. So it's one of this graveyard took so much guess and check to be like, is this the real exit? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, well, you get to the wrong one, you have to start all over again.
Gotta start all over, buddy boy. You know it. And it's like, there are so many false exits. Like, there are so many. And it's like, I would think I would find the exit, and it's like the reason. Okay, it got to the point where I knew I'd fucked up because like all the false exits look the same, and it's like, so it's the same room layout. And when I would get to that room, it'd be like, God damn it, I fucked it up. And it's like I can't go back to the door I came through, so I gotta leave. I gotta start all over. These tricky bastards. The real exit also looks like that.
Oh. See, I mean, if you like that, then I'm sure you loved the haunted house and Bebe's Kids, because it was this. It was the same thing.
Okay, so this game is a lot better than Bebe's Kids. I just want to go ahead and put that on the record. And also, Bebe's Kids wasn't a bad game, but I also don't think it's as bad as people say that it is. It's no Super Turrican 2.
It's better than Cool World.
Yeah, Cool World's a
that
very
game.
bad game. Yeah. So I don't know. I am a StarTropics fan, I guess. I'm not surprised that it didn't really go much farther than the NES. I know it got a sequel, Zoda's Revenge, not to be confused with Yoda's Revenge. I do think it's really weird. That's like, please don't take a Star Wars character and just change one fucking letter in one direction. All right, we're going to change the Y to a Z.
Master Jetto Zodas.
Master Jetto. Master Jelly Zoda. God. Yeah. So I don't know. And I think it's because I think it didn't really go much farther. This is all speculation, of course, because it is so similar to Zelda. And I do feel like when people played it, they were like, this isn't fucking Zelda. Mm-hmm. And it also makes sense because I'm not the biggest Zelda fan in the world. Mm-hmm. So like if I loved Zelda, I would also probably be in that camp where it's like, this game is fine, but it's not Zelda.
Yeah.
I
understand that.
I never played this game as a kid. And
I had no clue. I'd only seen the cover of this game. I had no idea what was going to happen when I turned it on.
Me too. This game was always available to rent, I feel like. And I never fucking rented it. Never. And I'll tell you why. Because the box art looked stupid.
Yeah. Nothing attractive about it.
Honest. I mean, as an adult looking at it, I'm like, this art is fine. It's nice. It's tranquil. It's peaceful. As a kid, I don't want to play a fucking tranquil, peaceful game.
I assumed it was a world-building game as a kid.
It kind of looks like a world-building game because that is the art. The art is essentially the island that you're on. And it's just like, how uninteresting.
Why not be Mike Jones with a baseball bat in one hand and throwing a yo-yo in the other?
No
and a
shit.
bunch of monsters behind him. I'd be like, fuck yeah, give me that shit.
Let's do this shit. Right. So I don't know. I feel like that. I honestly feel, this will sound crazy, but I know from personal experience that is the reason I never played this game and didn't want to. I also didn't know that this was a game that was developed by Nintendo. If I had known that as a kid, that might have been another reason I would have picked it up. But it's like a Nintendo developed game that I never really fucking heard about. Yeah. No one was ever talking about it. I know it was in like 2 issues of Nintendo Power, but
I had a huge guide and across 2 issues.
Right. And I mean, so I guess if you had Nintendo Power, you knew about it, but I could not convince Mom and Dad to get that subscription.
I did not know a single person with a subscription to Nintendo Power growing up.
I knew one guy.
I was jealous. I would have loved that.
Hell yes.
I would maybe once every 3 or 4 months convince my mom to get me an issue of not Game Informer, but like
GamePro dog.
GamePro, Gamer Monthly, something like that from the Piggly Wiggly.
Yep, I was in that boat.
Every now and then, and I would read that till it would fucking fall apart. That's why I want to do Battle Arena Toshin Den. Never played it, but I fucking read about that in that episode, in that issue. What I keep saying episode.
You keep saying episode, yeah.
That issue, that magazine.
Remember that podcast,
so much.
that GamePro podcast? Do you think we could do that? Do you think we could just take the name? Like, has it been long enough where we could just be like, we are the GamePro podcast? And it's like, man, we get so many listeners just like right off the bat.
GamePro
like,
LLC.
I remember GamePro.
Who was that reviewer that you and Jacob talk about?
Scary Larry.
Scary Larry.
Oh, man. Hell yeah, Scary Larry. I'm all about it. I kind of feel like, I don't know, man. There's a podcast that calls itself like Nintendo Power something.
Yep.
And it's like, I listened to an episode because I was like, wow, an official Nintendo Power like podcast. It is not an official. I mean, if it's official, it sure as hell doesn't like present itself as one. So I was bummed out because I was like, there's nothing wrong with this content, but it's like I was kind of like expecting,
clickbait.
Clickbait. You're right. So I mean, again, like I said, nothing against the podcast, but I was disappointed when I tuned in and I was like, oh damn it, this is just a guy like me and Tyler who doesn't tell hobo stories for 40 minutes.
So I'm out.
I'm sorry.
You get right to the game. I'm out. Giving me content I came for.
So yeah, the game has problems. The guest in check, I think, is probably the biggest problem. But I also found,
because I was pissed off in that very first dungeon when I like, oh hey, a potion, cool. Oh wait a minute, if I keep going on, hey look, another one. All right, another potion. Wonder if I'll check. Oh shit, was it dead?
Instant death.
Yep.
Yeah. They do trick you like that.
And you go back, and I lost everything I'd just done. It was just like, fuck that. I'm not going back. I just barreled through and didn't get the items again.
So one of the big reasons I hear people say regarding the difficulty of this game, the reason that it is so difficult is because you can rent video games in the United States. And I know we talked about this a little bit on Ninja Gaiden, because the same thing with Ninja Gaiden. Like Ninja Gaiden 3 in Japan, way easier than Ninja Gaiden 3 in the US because they increased the difficulty in the US because they didn't want kids to rent it and beat it in a weekend. I feel like we're kind of in the same territory. With this game.
This game had that one other big failsafe to rentals and piracy.
The paper that the manual, you needed one page in the manual, which was, I think it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Because one page in the manual is a letter to Mike Jones written to him from his uncle, Dr. Jones. And there's a point in the game where you are told to submerge the letter in water. And if you have the manual, you take that page and you dip it in water, and a frequency is revealed on that page when you do it, and you enter that frequency into your navigational computer, who looks a whole lot like Rob.
Yep.
And once you do that, you're able to track your uncle.
Yep.
And I think it's neat. I don't know if it's actually copy protection. I think it's probably a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
Yeah, because your submarine takes passcode. Most of it you don't have to input, but like you'll find out, the code to make it submerge is 1492.
Right.
And I saw that, I was like, okay, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Okay, and your next one is 1776. So it's very, what's American? Just fucking throw it in there. Find some way to put it in.
Did you play Chapter 3? Chapter 3 is I know you didn't because that's the graveyard chapter.
But I saved the dolphin.
Okay, that's Chapter 2.
It, yeah.
You almost made it. Chapter 3 is incredibly long.
Yay!
Incredibly long.
I picked a good point then.
Because it's got multiple dungeons, and it's very weirdly paced because it's like 1 and 2 are fast. They go quick. And then 3 is like multiple dungeons, takes forever, and then it's much harder than the first 2 chapters. And then 4 kicks in, and it is like very short. You're essentially swallowed by a whale. It is that scene in Pinocchio. You get out the same way in everything. You find your uncle's assistant Babu of Seinfeld fame inside a whale who's also swallowed. He's also been swallowed, and you need to find his lighter so that you can light his raft on fire and cause the whale to sneeze you out.
That's also a very interesting level in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no shit! I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, you get swallowed by the whale, and you have to. You're with Pinocchio, and you have to go find your
because
pedo.
that's all Disney.
Yeah,
but Chapter 3, man, it is straight up a lengthy fucking chapter, and the reason I thought of it is because you were talking about like 1776 and all that. I literally laughed out loud when at the end of that chapter, the whole thing is there is this pirate ship that was wedged there by this captain. I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't a captain, but it's like a pirate-style ship who's wedged his ship in this strait to protect the island from pirates. And you got to sink that bastard. And you go through all this shit to fucking sink it so you can get through the strait. And you finally do it. And as it's sinking, this plays. My country 'tis of the, and it's just like, is this happening for real? Is this like, I lost my goddamn mind because I was like, this is so over the top. Like, well, we gotta make it American as fuck.
You have to say the princess. Who's the princess? Walma Art. Hey, don't get much more American than that.
Right. Yeah, it is very, very over the top American, which is hilarious because it was not made here. I don't know. It is a funny game. It is a game I would recommend. I mean, I seriously would. It is a game that I wish I had played as a kid. Also a tough sell.
I think I would have enjoyed it more as a kid had I played it, but I didn't know anybody that had it. I'd seen it, was interested in it. Like, I understand why it was only moderately successful. Mm-hmm. So,
and I know some people have said like, bring Mike Jones back. Bring Mike Jones back for like Smash Brothers or something like that.
People voted for him in that contest.
And it's like, dude, I'm sorry, but we already have NES. We already.
Hey, he has a yo-yo and a baseball bat. Uh-huh. He's a stereotypical American kid. Uh-huh.
Right. I'm sorry. We already have Mike Jones in his pure form, and it is called Nance.
Well, how about we do an American kid without like a hat then? Okay, Lucas.
Yeah. So, look, if Mike Jones, at the very least, though, I do think he needs to be like a trophy or something in Smash Brothers.
You're right.
That would be nice. There
Yeah.
needs to be some kind of nod to Mike Jones.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
I was really hoping I could get through to Mike Jones when I called him earlier today, because I was. First of all,
Dave, no one's called me.
Right, what's up, man? I was going to ask him to be on this episode, and then I was also when he was going to inevitably say no, I was going to say, "Did you get your name from StarTropics?" And then inevitably, when he'd say no, I was going to say, "Can I have $20 to $30?" Are there other things that we need to talk about?
About the game?
Yeah.
I mean, I like achievements.
Do you have achievements?
I've got 2.
What you got?
My first one is Gygaxed.
Oh, nice.
And that is when you die from a surprise trap. Because this game reminded me of Tomb of Horrors in some ways.
Which was, I guess, designed by Gygax, right?
Yep.
I assume. I just always assumed he did it. Excellent. What else you got?
My second one is Yo-Yonly.
Wait, what is it?
Yo-Yonly.
Yo-Yonly?
Yo-Yonly.
Yo-Yonly.
So that is when you beat a level using only the yo-yo.
Oh, okay. Nice. I like that. It took me a while. I don't know why I thought you were going like a James Bond, like you only live once or it's twice. I don't know. I don't watch James Bond.
You only live once. You beat the game without losing a single life.
Hey, I like that. I have 3 achievement names. How about that?
Perfect.
I came super prepared. My first achievement is No Time for Love, Dr. Jones. In order to unlock No Time for Love, Dr. Jones, you need to. I came up with this achievement name, and I'm like, surely someone is going to fall in love in this video game. Mm-hmm. That hasn't happened yet. So there is a scene where you need to wake up a princess named Bananette. She's in slumber. She's been ensorcelled, and you got to wake her up. And in order to do that, you got to go through a dungeon. Mm-hmm. So in order to unlock No Time for Love, Dr. Jones, I guess you just do that. How about that?
All right.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Don't think about it. Let's not dwell on it. And then my next achievement is I do have this one. There is a point in the game where you must enter a castle that is on an island which is inhabited only by women. Only women are allowed in this castle. It's the She-Cola Castle. Once again, I'll remind everybody, they all end in cola. They fucking ride that joke to the fucking end, as far as I know. So this achievement is called Smash the Matriarchy.
I want the Epsi Castle.
The what? Oh, the Epsi Castle. In order to unlock Smash the Matriarchy, you need to sneak into She-Cola, which you do in the game by I believe it is a fortune teller dresses you up as a woman, and then
you have to cross dress to get in.
Cloud Stripe style. You gotta sneak your way in. So that's how you unlock that achievement. And then third achievement is called Back Then Hoes Didn't Love Me. In order to unlock that, you just got to dip that manual in the water and get it wet. Got to get it wet.
Take a picture, send it to Nintendo.
Yeah.
They unlock the achievement after that.
Right, yes. They mail it to you. Yeah.
It's like special event Pokemon, they have to give it to you.
Right, yeah, you do have to buy into it though. And that is all the achievements that I believe that I've got. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I have had fun today.
Me too.
Talking to you about mainly homeless people, but also StarTropics a little bit. Mm-hmm. Before we close it out, I do have some questions for you. Okay. The first of which being, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be and why?
I would have to give it the salt and pepper beard of The Rock.
The Rock has a beard? Like the wrestler The Rock?
The wrestler The Rock. It is an old man salt and pepper beard when he grows it out.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have always imagined, like, I can't even imagine that man with a
I'd
beard.
look it up to see if there were pictures, and apparently he'd had, and there was a whole BuzzFeed article and a bunch of stuff about people freaking out over his old man beard.
Is it weird that I just picture him in everyday life, just shirtless, oiled up?
Nope.
Okay. Because I feel like that's how I always see him.
That's how he lived his life. Yeah.
I mean,
lives his life.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah, he's
Don't-
not dead.
Yeah, I mean, why hide the moneymaker, I guess, right?
Yep.
Don't bury your light under a bushel.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. All
look
right.
at me. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game,
Oh, I give it that beer because I mean.
Oh, I didn't ask you why. I'm so sorry.
It's not a game that's for everybody. Like I feel like The Rock as an actor is not somebody everybody enjoys, but people who do really like The Rock.
yeah, I think that's probably fair. And also, I was hoping you were going to be like, because there are a lot of shirtless men with facial hair in this game.
Well, I guess he's also Samoan, and you're in the tropics.
Well, there you
So
go.
there you go.
There is the first guy you meet is the chief of Coral Cola Island, and he is Mario. I mean, pretty much.
Yep.
He is like if you were assaulted by Mario and then the sketch artist like asked you to describe him. That is what the chief of Coral Cola
The
looks
ultra
like.
realistic Mario.
Right. Yeah, totally. It is like, it's very much like if Mario were a thief in Carmen San Diego, that's what he would look like, just without a shirt. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I enjoyed that beard.
Thank you.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it. I don't know, man. What kind of glasses would you give it?
Those cheap plastic pink sunglasses that have the two palm trees
Oh, yeah. The
on
sexy
on the
ones.
sides. Yeah.
Sexy. Well, you could have just said sexy shades.
Sexy shades.
I don't know why you went the long way around. Why would you give it sexy shades?
That's just
The palm trees, tropical.
yeah.
There are many times where I've been like, man, if there was a game like that we really like need to come up with a good tropical Capricorn ending, it's this one.
Yeah.
And I got nothing.
StarTropical Capricorn.
That's good. I like it. Man. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I got another question for you. If you were to buy this game used right now, how much do you think you would pay for it? Answers are going to be based on pricecharting.com.
I doubt this is a super rare game. Because imagine they pushed it since it was just in North America for a while before it went to Europe. So I'll do ballpark what I think a cheap but not super cheap game is and go $10.
Average loose price of StarTropics used for the NES on pricecharting.com right now at the time of this recording is $10.80. Very close. Well done.
All right.
There are actually, looks like there is one for sale on eBay right now for $2.99. Yeah, I know.
All right, that's worth it.
That feels kind of sad, though. It
Yeah.
feels low. That feels like a cool world kind of price.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't like that. But you want to take a guess how much it is complete
$50.
on average? $26.19. Also pretty cheap.
Yeah, with the paper, with the soakable paper.
That I don't know. But what I can tell you is I do have a price for it new, which that definitely has a soakable paper. I mean,
Yeah.
any paper soakable. If you put your mind to it.
$150. I'm going to lowball it.
$67.47. Yeah, I know. This is
Wow.
a cheap
it is.
game, which kind of makes me a little sad because I think it's a good game.
Yeah.
But also happy makes me feel happy because it's like, all right, it's affordable.
I can afford that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I know. So
For all the money I'm not giving hobos, my
Yeah.
copy of
I know.
StarTropics new.
I know. I don't give that guy $30 twice. I'm almost there. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've got one more question for you.
All right.
Do you feel like this game belongs on the NES Classic?
So I'm torn on this one because where I see it's good, I also see it's so similar to Zelda, but I feel like it's, of course, it wouldn't be on the Japanese NES Classic. So because it was a uniquely developed game strictly for North America, I would say it does. Yeah, I can see where from that justification it belongs on the NES American NES Classic.
In a historical light.
Yep.
Strictly that.
Yeah, 'cause I think it's a fun game. I see where it's similar to Zelda. So like,
I mean, you say that,
yeah.
but it's the same. I mean, your face isn't saying
I think
that.
its quality is middling, so I'd be torn
Yeah,
about it.
I gotcha.
But I say it pushes me over to the edge.
Because it's a North American exclusive.
Yep.
Okay. I think it definitely belongs on there.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed it. Anytime I enjoy a game, it's like, yeah, all right, sign me up. It sounds good. And also, I mean, it's important historically too.
Yeah.
And it's like a Nintendo game that it's rare for me to find a Nintendo game from my childhood, a game developed by Nintendo that I haven't played. And it's like to have played it and been like, that wasn't bad. I should have played that earlier.
Yeah.
And it's also a game that I want to finish after the fact. I mean, after we've recorded this, like I want to go and finish the game. So that speaks a lot to me too.
That does. That really does.
I enjoyed it a lot, and I recommend it highly to anybody who hasn't played it, who kind of likes Zelda.
Yeah. Kind of like Zelda.
If you really like Zelda, don't play it. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
You'd be too colored. Yeah.
I honestly do think you're not going to enjoy it if you really like The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. It's fair. It's good.
But then again, you might.
You want to cut to the chase on the outros?
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
know we're thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. So to miss the next episode, we'll be talking about Super C.
Super C.
So on that one, we might have my coworker on. Maybe, I don't know. Super busy guy. Works a fuck ton. So
We'll just visit him at work.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll take the show on the road. I've learned from the man who comes into my office. I know how to do it. We'll just barge in. We'll record a podcast. We'll demand he either give us $20 to $30 or record a podcast. His choice.
Do you want to know where to find us on various social media outlets?
Ask Michael Moore. I don't know why I said that.
You check the show notes. Just check the show notes. It's all in the show notes. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track, you can find in the show notes. I'll be there.
We do have a Patreon. In case you do want to give us $20 to $30.
In case you really love that 40-minute intro.
Yeah, you can do that at patreon.com/TADPOG. We do release a bonus episode each month. I have an idea for the upcoming one that I haven't talked to you about
Me
yet,
too.
Tyler. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll figure that out.
Yep.
And then I've got one other thing, and that is we had a contest last episode.
Yep.
And so the rules to enter was on the Facebook post, you needed to put in the comments what you masturbated to the first time. And it brings me great joy to say that. But it brings me greater joy to announce the winner of that contest. The winner is going to get this wonderful Splatoon art book that was gifted to us by Mitch, a.k.a. Catchpenny Gaming. I loved all the comments. I thought they were all great. Everyone gave us some really personal information.
Yeah, Melissa did not share or like this episode because it would
Because of
mean
that?
her stepmother would see it.
Well, I mean, you got to break some eggs.
Yeah.
We're making jizz omelets over here. The winner of that is former master of coin, Ryan Walters.
Damn right.
And I will tell you why. They were all great answers, but Ryan was the only person to, without a shadow of a doubt, let it be known publicly on Facebook that he was talking about masturbation. Everybody else left all verbs out, and they were like, I was 12, this was what it was. But Ryan was like, I masturbated to this on this date. Also, I love Splatoon. And it was like, all right, the balls of this guy. He wins. And it's like, I don't think it was a coincidence. He commented, and then all the comments stopped. Because I feel like everybody was like, yeah, he's got it.
Done.
Yeah, he's got it. So, Ryan, if you're listening, hit me up with your address, and we'll get this book to you.
Yeah, damn right. Hey, you want to close it out, Dave?
I guess like parrots.
Okay.
Fun. Or pirates.
Parrot Pirates?
Or parrot pirates.
Okay. So until next time, Startropical Capricorn!
Threw me off. I didn't know what that was all about. Well, you got that out, bro. I missed it. Mark me as absent.
Plee plah ploo. Take two. Take blue. Take blue. Plee plah ploo. No, plee plah ploo. That's not how I was doing it. I had it like figured out. Plee plah ploo. No.
No.
Plee, plop, ploo.
Yeah.
No, plee, plop, ploo. Yes. Plee, plop, ploo. That's it. Plee, plop, ploo. No, plee, plop, ploo. Yes. Plee, plop, ploo.
But I like the yes when it had more like
Sass?
yeah.
Plee, plop, ploo. No, plee, plop, ploo. Yeah. Plee, plop, ploo. Okay, I'm feeling
That's it.
Yeah.
No, guys.
No?
Look at this.
Wait, what?
Wait, look at this.